What's up, people? In this video, I'm going to tell you my favorite peptides for injury prevention or injury recovery. Injury healing? I don't know. I'm going to tell you my favorite peptides for when you're injured and you think you're going to be out for a very long time. Well, Poppy's got news for you, boys and girls. You are not going to be out for a very long time. I'm going to... Shit. Fuck it. I'm going to go. Ugh. I'm going to give you some advice right now as I run across the street in a very hazardous way. I might need my own peptides when I get hit by a car. Okay, so before we get into that, please subscribe to my channel so you can watch me dangerously cross the street in a way that you should not try at home, children who are watching YouTube on their parents' phones. And did I say subscribe? Yeah, subscribe. Also, check out legendarysuitjammers.com. They make pimped out silk shirts like this that, by the way, I did a great job ironing today. Oh, well, never mind. Don't look at that. Okay, now let's talk about peptides for injury healing. Now, a little bit of background. When I was in 2016, I was very lucky to have a job working with a friend of mine who is what I would call a very successful businessman. Okay, now this friend of mine, I don't think he watches my videos, but if he does, what's up, bro? Good to see you. He's a very successful businessman. However, he still keeps it real, okay, which is what I like about him. Now, during this time, he had this new business that he was doing, and he was making some money from it, but he had other stuff going on, didn't have the time to spend on this business. So I just moved back to LA, and he was like, hey, bro, do you want to help me run this new company that I have? And if you do, I'll give you half the profits. So I had nothing better going on. I was like, okay, cool, let's do it. So I started running the company. It was like me and him. I started working with him, and we started making, for me at the time, it was a lot of money. And I had nothing to spend this money on because I'm not really money motivated. And I honestly, if you gave me a bunch of money now, I wouldn't know what to spend it on. And back then I didn't know what to spend it on either. So I did what any gym bro would do, is I went kind of nuts with the supplements and the experimental peptides and nootropics and other fun stuff. Okay, so what I did, and I really don't recommend that you do this because, you know, I don't know, I'll probably get in trouble if I actually recommend it. You should not do this, but what I did is I went on Alibaba and I contacted some suppliers of a chemical plant, you know, a manufacturer, wholesaler, whatever you want to say. And I contacted them and I was like, hey, can I buy some of your bulk chemicals from you? Like, I want this, 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 and this. And I gave them like a list of stuff, and I ended up ordering, you know, like I think like $1,500 worth of stuff, which when you buy in bulk, let me tell you, that is a lot of peptides and supplements and stuff. Okay, so anyway, the point is that I had all of this stuff that I tried over time, and I'm going to give you my opinion on all of them right now. Okay, so supplement number one that you should take if you have an injury, I'm going to say C60 Fullerene. Now, I think I've made a video about this before. C60 Fullerene is this type of carbon that was discovered by Buckminster Fuller, and the molecule itself looks like a soccer ball. Okay, it's like perfectly round. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with the effects. Maybe soccer players are like super healthy or something. But anyway, they did a study on this, and they gave it to rats. Long story short, they found that the rats that they gave it to ended up living twice as long as the rats that didn't. These specific rats lived for, I think, 5 and 6 years, where if you guys know anything about rats, you know that they live for like 18 months, maybe 2 years if you're lucky. Maybe 3 years if it's like an ancient rat. But to live for 5 and 6 years just because you gave it some weird form of carbon mixed with olive oil is not, it's like unheard of. Okay, so could it be a fluke? Maybe he just got some lucky rats, maybe he played classical music in the laboratory and they lived longer because of that. I don't really know. But anyway, I read this study and I was like, I want that. So I bought some, I took it. I took a lot of it. I was a little scared the first time I took it, not gonna lie. But hey, I'm a pioneer, what can I say? So I took it, and what I actually noticed is that I ended up healing from injuries much faster. So I remember one specific time, it also makes you much stronger, by the way, but I remember one specific time where I was working out at Equinox at the time, and what I loved about this Equinox is they had a full wall of kettlebells. Okay, I'm a kettlebell guy, I love them, and for me to go in there and see that they had as many as I wanted was very good. So I remember this specific time, what I did, normally I would just warm up with the kettlebells. I would do swings, cleans, high pulls, and snatches with one hand. This day, for whatever reason, I was like, maybe I'll do two hands. Maybe I'll hold a kettlebell in each hand. So what I did is I stupidly didn't reduce the weight. And I think I took kettlebells that were either 16 kilos or 20 kilos. And I basically doubled up the weight and I was doing kettlebell swings. So long story short, I ended up pulling my hamstring after, the 10th rep or something, to the point where like I felt it pull. And I was like, oh shit, this, like, you can tell sometimes when it's gonna be an injury that's gonna lay you up for like weeks. You're just like, you're fucked basically. So I was like, oh shit, all right. So I dropped the weights and I went to go sit in a chair. And I kid you not, I was like thinking to myself, I was like focusing, like, just heal right now, like become better, don't be injured. Yeah. Anyway, 10 minutes later, I got up and I was fine, all right? Now, was it the C60 Fullerene? Am I basing my entire recommendation off of one thing that could have been the result of positive thinking, or maybe the 10 other things that I was taking at that time? Maybe, but I noticed that, when you take a lot of stuff at once, you notice slight differences when you introduce something new. Anyway, believe me if you don't, there's plenty of other anecdotal evidence of it being really good for injury healing as well. You're welcome to do your own research. Okay, so that's thing number one. Thing number two, we're going to talk about a peptide called BPC-157. Now, BPC-157, honestly, not going to lie, not really sure what it does chemically. However, I do know that I bought some of this from a separate retailer, and it was very good for, I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. It was very good for, same thing, healing any sort of injuries that I had at the time. Now here's the good things and bad things about BPC-157. The bad things, well, let's talk about the good things first. Number one, it makes you heal very quickly, okay? I think I already said that. What are the other good things? Oh yeah, number two, you don't actually need to inject it, from what I understand. You can actually just swallow it and you'll be fine. Most peptides you need to inject. All right, now when I bought this, it came in a vial, right? So I was like, oh shit, I need to inject this. So I actually did inject it. And for you guys out there, like it's not in your vein that you inject it. It's either intramuscular or subcutaneous. So in your fat or in your muscle. Okay, you're not shooting up like a junkie. Just want to make that clear. Always do your research and don't do it anyway. I don't think I'm allowed to say that, but yeah. So anyway, I didn't know that. I injected it and it was very good for injury healing. Anytime I had a little bit of aches and pains, I would inject it, and literally later that day I was feeling amazing. Okay, now are these steroids, like, are you gonna like grow hair on your places where you shouldn't grow hair if you're a woman? Is it gonna make your balls shrink? No, it's not. Just do your own research, like look it up on your own. Are they illegal? No, they're not. BPC-157, as far as I know, is not on the WADA banned substances list because it's for injury healing. It's not like, you're not doping, right? It's not gonna like make you jump higher or anything like that. So it's totally fine. And then also honorable mention to TB500. I've never actually taken this. However, from what I've read on forums, it's very effective when paired with BPC-157. And if I recall correctly, TB500 is, they use it on racehorses if they have an injury and need to heal before a race. So again, can't really comment on the safety profile of this one because I've never actually tried it myself. And I'm not so naive to think like, oh, well, if they give it to racehorses, it must be fine. That's a bit of a stretch, but I would say it's worth looking into, okay? Like, I don't know, I guess I can't really recommend this one because I've never really tried it myself. Okay, but you're welcome to try it. And furthermore, if you have ever tried any of these, oh, I totally forgot, MK677 for injury healing, wow. That right there, that is the bomb dizzle. And probably should have said this earlier, but if you're only gonna buy one of these, I would say buy MK677, otherwise known as ibutamoren. A little expensive if you buy it retail. I, in the past, have bought it from, I have like a guy that I go to, a shady, I don't know if he's shady, but like a chemical manufacturer, supplier guy that I go to now. I get it for pretty cheap, but again, I probably shouldn't upload this video. But anyway, I mean, I don't do that. My friend does it. It's not me. When I say I'm talking about my friend. Yeah, so anyway, MK677, what it does, it causes your body to release Ghrelin. Okay, Ghrelin is a hormone that makes you feel hungry. They call it the hunger hormone. Now, Ghrelin, or when you feel hungry as a result of Ghrelin, it makes your body release something called growth hormone releasing hormone, which, as the name implies, makes your body release growth hormone. So we can see that the more Ghrelin you have in your body, the more your body is going to release growth hormone. And by the way, this is one of the reasons why I like to eat my meal at night, because if I wake up in the morning, I take all my supplements and I take MK677, I know I'm gonna be very hungry all day, okay? So in my mind, this is also why I like being hungry. Maybe I should make another video about this, but this is why I like being hungry, because I know that every second I spend with that hungry feeling in my stomach is more and more growth hormone that's being pumped through my body and fixing all of the stuff that's wrong with me at any given time, okay? Makes you heal faster, burns fat, builds muscle, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's why I like that hungry feeling. That is also why I encourage you to adopt a new attitude towards hunger. I should probably make another video about this, but so what do we have? C60 Fullerene, BPC 157, MK677, ibutamoren, and TB500. The first three, I'm gonna give my poppy stamp of approval. The last one, I never tried it, can't really say yay or nay. Okay, so now, if you've tried any of these, let me know in a comment. Have you ever tried any peptides that you found to be helpful, either for injury healing or maybe for something else? Let me know in a comment. I'm very curious. Hit me up. Check out legendarysuitjamas.com. Subscribe to my channel, Areno. Peace.